Hey ladies, so today I'm going to give you a content creation mini masterclass. So two things I want to say before I start. So many people think that creating content is difficult, but it's not. It is easy. And creating a lot of content in one go is also really easy, I promise. So when you create content, it always needs to be relevant to your ideal client. That is like the first rule of content creation. It has to be relevant to your ideal client. Whatever it is, even if it's a conversation starter, it has to be about something that is relevant to your ideal client. And then you also want your content to be either useful to your ideal client, informative, so it's got some kind of information that your ideal client really wants in it. And it needs to reflect you and your personality. And it needs to do that because every piece of content you put out needs to build your know, like, and trust factor. So when you put out a piece of content, like I said, it needs to be relevant to your ideal client. It needs to be useful or informative, and it needs to reflect who you are. And it needs to reflect, like I said, who you are, because it needs to essentially tell your ideal client, you want to work with me. And you want to work with me because this is the kind of person I am. These are the kind of problems I solve. This is the kind of information you're going to get. And this is why you want to work with me. So when you actually create your content, I've come up with 6 questions that you need to answer when thinking about your content. So the first one is, who is your ideal client? And please don't tell me that she's a woman and she's, between 25 and 50 and she wants to start her own business. That isn't specific enough. Who is she? Does she still have a job? Does she work? Does she have kids? Does she have a dog? Does she live in the suburbs? Does she live in the city? Is she married? Is she divorced? Is she straight? Is she gay? Does she like cupcakes? Is she not a fan of chocolate? Is she vegan? What does she do on the weekend? Does she go to the cinema with her friends and then go out for drinks? Or does she stay home, have a family barbecue and read a book? Who is she? And be very, very specific, because all of these different things are different topics you can talk about in your content. So when you've thought about your ideal client, what are their pain points? What are their problems? What are the things that they're struggling with that they're going to essentially work with you to fix? What are their problems? Are they struggling with weight loss after having a baby? Are they struggling with, if they're going vegan and they're struggling with recipes, healthy recipes to feed their family? Are they trying to build a business but they can't seem to find where their ideal client hangs out online? What are their problems? So once you've got their pain points or their problems, what are the kind of situations that arise as a result of these problems? So if they're struggling to find clients, then the situation that's going to arise is they're not making any money from their business. And the same with, if they're going vegan and they're struggling with foods they can eat or healthy foods for their family, the problems that are arising, the situations that are arising, are they're either eating the same foods all the time and they're bored and they're regretting their decision, or they can't seem to find food that their kids actually want to eat. What is the problem, and what are the situations that are coming up as a result of these problems? What are the problems of the problems then? You've heard of the benefits of the benefits, but what are the problems as a result of the problems? So once you've thought about those, then think about what it's going to feel like when their problems are solved. So when they don't have to worry about what to feed their kids, or they don't have to worry about finding their clients because they've got a full they've got a waiting list, they've got a full client list. What's it going to feel like when they get there? What's it going to feel like when their problem is either solved, or when those situations arise, they know how to deal with them? It could be that, like I said, they're going vegan and they don't know where to eat out, so they don't eat out anymore. and your ideal client is a mum who's really stressed because she doesn't want to have to cook every single day, and sometimes they just like to go out. What's it going to feel like when they can say, oh, we can go to this restaurant and we can order this, and yes, it's a couple of tweaks to what's on the menu, but we can do it. What is it going to feel like? Because chances are, when their problem is solved, it's going to feel awesome. But you have to, think about the benefits of the benefits. So we've done the problems of the problems, and what's the benefits of the benefits? Once their problem is solved, what does that look like? How happy are they going to be? And then how can you solve their problem? So I don't mean like, oh, I've got this 6-week package and it does this, 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 and this. I mean, like I said, if it's the vegan mum, I'm going to show you how to create healthy, varied meal plans. That's not, join my 6-week group program. That is the specific, this is how I'm going to do it. So the same way, if you're a business coach and your client is struggling to find clients, it isn't, join my 6-week program or sign up to work with me one-to-one. It is, I'm going to show you how to find your ideal clients, and I'm going to show you how to talk to them, how to engage with them to essentially qualify them as leads. And then the last question is, what does it look like to work with you? And this is where you get into, I've got a 6-week plan for this, or I've got a group program for this, or I've got a one-to-one. And, what specifically is it that you're offering? And also, if you're working with somebody one-to-one, how are you going to do that? Is it, via Facebook Messenger? Is it sort of 60-minute phone calls once a week? Is it, via Skype? Is it solely just workbooks and emails? What is it? What specifically is it going to look like when they work with you? So once you've answered those 6 questions, you're going to have a lot of ideas. You're going to have lots of topics that you could talk about. So brainstorm all your ideas, write them all down on a big piece of paper, pen to paper, because we're all a big fan of pen to paper. Write down every single topic that comes into your mind. So when you're thinking about your ideal client, like I said, if she's not the kind of person to go out all the time, and she wants to go vegan, chances are you might not need to talk about restaurants, but it's a topic that might come up if she's celebrating like a family birthday and her family want to go out. So what does she do in that kind of situation? If they're going to an Italian restaurant and she's trying to eat vegan, what could she eat? Just those kind of topics. And again, that's a situation that arises because of her problem of not knowing how to eat vegan. And the same with, you could have, like if you're a weight loss coach and your ideal client is struggling to lose weight for summer, one of the situations that could arise is that, yet again, she's got her wardrobe full of summer clothes that still don't fit her, or that don't fit her anymore, and she wants to get back into those. So who is your ideal client? What are their pain points or their problems? What situations arise as a result of those problems? So the problems of the problems. And then what would it feel like when these sort of situations either no longer arise, or when they do, she knows what to do, or your ideal client knows what to do, the benefits, and then the benefits of the benefits. How can you solve their problem? So specifics, like I'll show you how to do X, Y, and Z. And then what does it look like to work with you, as in how will you deliver the solution to their problem? So once you've made this brainstorm, this list of all these different topics you can talk about, take every single topic and write down a short post, a medium post, and a long post on each topic. So the short post is either a quick tip, like, did you know you don't have to write a novel every time you post something on social media? You can help people in 2 or 3 sentences. Or even a conversation starter or question. Like, I posted one the other day that was, I've just started reading The Big Leap. What are your recommendations for other books once I finish this? And it starts a conversation off, because then everybody wants to tell you what book they're reading. And the whole point of posting on social media is social media, be social. engage with people, connect with them, and see where the conversation takes you. So it could also be something like, like I said, if you're a weight loss coach, and you could say, right, do you drink enough water? Or how much water do you drink a day? And chances are you're going to get comments that are like, oh, I don't drink enough, or I drink this much, or I tend to drink like tea instead of water, and blah blah blah. Or it could be a really quick tip that is, did you know, a good amount of water to drink is half your weight in pounds in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need to drink 100 ounces of water. That's one quick little tip that somebody who's struggling with how much water should they drink, that's easy. I can work out how much I weigh in pounds, and I can work out how much I need to drink in ounces. Thanks very much. One immediate problem solved with 2 sentences. So like I said, you need your short posts. Your medium posts are sort of 2 to 3 paragraphs, which is again sort of a little bit more value, or it's sort of a brief, is this your pain point? So, it could be, are you struggling with drinking enough water? I had a client who didn't drink enough water, and these are the kind of problems she faced. Is this you? Do you struggle with this too? That kind of thing. And then your long post, you can either go into a lot of value, so like a really value-packed post. Like, did you know Instagram is really easy to use? Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and this is going to really improve your client attraction on Instagram. And you're giving like 6 tips in one post. Or you can really talk about the pain points. So you can say, I had a client who struggled with yo-yo dieting for years. She's got 8 different sizes of clothes in her wardrobe. She would do this and then this would happen, or she'd do this and then this would happen, because she didn't know what to do for this, this, this and this, but I helped her turn it around. Does this sound like you? Again, you want to end every post, except kind of the short ones, you want to end them with a call to action. And I say with the short ones, don't really end them with a call to action, because you are, like, if you're literally just giving a quick tip, you're either giving a tip or you're asking a question. So with the ones that you're asking a question, the entire post is your call to action. And with the quick tip, you're just giving value. You're not asking for a response. But if you're just saying, this is my quick tip, you're going to get a response. Even if it's lots of likes or loves or whatever it might be, you're going to get a response. So again, with your long post, you can either give a ton of value, or really talk about the pain point, but you can also talk about you, which is kind of like a conversation or post, or a vulnerable post where you can say, this is something I struggled with, or this is a problem I had, or this is why I started my business. These are the things that drive me. There's nothing wrong with talking about you, because those long posts where you share something personal, or you say, like, I struggled with this for a really long time and I didn't want to admit it because X, Y, and Z, or I did this and this happened and that was crap, but I managed to turn it around. Those kind of things build your know, like, and trust factor. And as we all know, people buy from people, and the more people know you, the more people get to like you, and the more people trust you. And when they know, like, and trust you enough for them, that's when they buy from you. So, like I said, write your 3 posts, your short post, your medium post, and your long post for each topic. And then it's just a case of sharing that content. So, you've got sort of 4 different posts, or 3 different posts on all the different topics. Share it into 4 different Facebook groups. Post your short post with an image on Instagram and Twitter. Your long posts can go on your blog, or you can email it to your list. And then your other posts, Facebook, or even if you turn your tip into an image, you post it on Pinterest. Or, if you're talking about the, if you're talking about, the situation that arises, and you can say, now that I'm £100 lighter and I fit into my summer outfit, take a picture of yourself and snap it on Snapchat. People want to see what it is you're doing. Or if you are the kind of person that drinks all your water every day, take a picture of your water jug and share it around. All the content you've created, there are so many different ways you can deliver that content across all different platforms. And even the same with live video, you can talk about one of your topics. Even if it's your long post, you can talk about the topic on Periscope or on Facebook Live, because when you talk about it, you come up with different things. You don't automatically edit yourself. You have to go with the flow. So, those kinds of mediums are just as good for creating content where you just talk and talk and talk, because who knows what's going to come out when you talk. So like I said, 6 questions, answer those 6 questions, make sure your content is always relevant, it's useful, it's informative, and it tells people about you. Make sure that you know who your ideal client is. What are their pain points? What are the problems that arise because of those pain points? What's it going to feel like when either those situations don't arise or they know how to deal with them? How can you solve their problem, and what does it look like to work with you? Brainstorm all the topics, short, medium and long posts, and then just share them anywhere and everywhere. And that is content creation. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks.